What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge. It is Thursday, June 24th. I am the coach, and we are powered, as always, by the almighty Sports Line. Still fighting this nasty little cold. But do you know what makes it feel a little bit better? An 8-4 day on our straight picks. A great day on the live stream. A whole ton of fun. And also, we've got a winner in our perfect parlay contest. That's because our guy, Zach Attack, went perfect on the show yesterday. And so our winner today, his best bet on YouTube was the Hawks plus the 8. We were on that play as well at Dasteve003, DASTEVE003. The jeweler will reach out to you and let you know all the details. You win a year-long subscription to Sportsline. Congratulations. Welcome to the family. Let's bring in the guys right now because we've got a full show today. And when I stare at these three faces, do you know what I see? I see Trae Young. I see Trae Young. I see Trae Young. Oh, just pounding the Bucks last night to the tune of 48 points. Boys, I'm going to introduce the maestro first because I want to hear what he has to say about being one game away from winning the Sportsline Showdown Bet of the Week. Maestro, good morning, sir.
Coach, not here to gloat. We are still got a long way to go. We're going to stay focused on just getting the next game. No, seriously, I just think there's a lot of subplots in this series that, have gone unnoticed. And one is that Mike Budenholzer didn't want to stick around for the Hawks rebuild. He committed to it at first. He led them to the conference finals. And then there was a falling out. They didn't like how he was handling GM duties. They stripped him of the GM. He didn't want to stick around for the rebuild. It's kind of a little poetic justice that he's getting a taste of what could have been had he stuck there. I still think this bet is a long way from over. I fully expect the Bucks to come back and win game 2. I am not expecting the Hawks to cash this bet in 2 games.
But if they did, you wouldn't hate it. You wouldn't hate it.
Oh, no.
Jay Smooth, full disclosure, I saved your job last night. You leave the live stream early to go to the Yankees game. And the only thing that saved you is I said to the bosses, he hit the over in the game that he won. Good morning, sir.
How you doing, Coach? Yeah, I was at that game yelling my brains out last night. You could probably hear it in my voice still. But no, got some great plays tonight. It was a great game being there, watching that walk-off. I think there was like 7 runs scored in the last 2 innings of that game. So you want to talk about a sweat and a fun way to cash an over. That was one of them. But, coming off a 2-3 day, cash that Drew Holiday prop on the live show that I put my name behind. So love getting a little basketball money on there. Looking forward to a great day. Might have some stuff coming later, too.
Oh, we do have the live stream today, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Matt Severance making an appearance for the very first time. Yeah, it was 7 runs. It was 2-2 going into the 8th inning. Also in that Giants-Angels game, which at Sportsline had the over. I was on the over. How about 3-3 after 9? Ended up 9-3 over hit. Crazy. M squared. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, that was a good spot for Larry to get that win. It would have been kind of just a brutal beat if they had got 48 out of Trae and lost the game. Because they had 48 points from Trae. I think the Bucks were 8 of 35 from 3, something, 22%. Yeah, if they had lost that game, allowing only 22% with 48 from Trae, it would have been just a brutal spot for him. So I'm glad that you got that. The bet's going to be fun, but we're going to sweep it from here.
And if you did listen to Mikey on the live stream yesterday, he told you that the proper bet, if you were going to go with the 2.5, would be to bet the Hawks on the money line, which was nearly plus 300 last night. He told you that. If you did that, then you would be sitting pretty regardless of the bet. So you got to listen. You got to watch Early Edge Live in the afternoon as well. All right, let's jump right in because we've got a lot to get to today. Let's go storylines that could affect the betting lines today. M squared, you're up first.
Yeah, let's hit on the weather again. The friendly hitting conditions are on their way back starting today and throughout the rest of the weekend. Just the other day, we talked about how it was unusually cool. You would look and see we didn't really have any games with a total above 9.5. Fast forward to today, we've got an 11 out there, a 10. The lowest total is only 8. We don't even have a 7 or 7.5 on this slate, and that's going to be a West Coast game with the Cubs and the Dodgers. So overall, hitting conditions are pretty good today, and they're going to be pretty good this weekend.
Oh, there's nothing more that I like than a bunch of overs that we're all riding together and rooting for runs. Now, NBA, It's been awesome. I have loved it. We have been on a lot of these games. And now, Maestro, I know you have something for us this morning.
Well, everybody expects Chris Paul back on the floor tonight. The line flipped when that came out from Suns +1 to Suns -1. One interesting angle you got to look at is Paul George. How is he going to respond to missing those free throws? Matt Severance, an unbelievable nugget in today's story about the game. That was only the second time all year that Paul George missed 2 free throws in a row. He's at 88% from the line. I want to go back and read that twice, but that's what Matt said, that it had not happened. And when a guy hits 88%, he'll go 1 of 2, but it's very unusual for him to go 0 of 2, which is exactly what happened. His prop at 30.5. Last game, he finished on 26, but missed 5 free throws. I think it's a big redemption game tonight for Paul George.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're going to be looking at that prop, talking about it this afternoon. Matt Severance, by the way, will be on once again the live stream today for the very first time. Mad Max in the Thunderdome. If you follow him on Twitter, one of our new young cappers, he's on that DeAndre Ayton prop again, over 15.5. And I would recommend getting it right now because it's going to continue to go up because Ayton is a beast. He's also on the Suns for the series to sweep, which is +250. So take that for what it is. But Mad Max, we love him. Being on the team here at the Early Edge. All right, let's jump into our board right now. By the way, if you're not following us on Sportsline yet, use the promo code EDGE. We're going to give you 30 days for free, and then you're off and sailing. But use that promo code EDGE and really come and try us out at Sportsline. All right, we got several plays today. We're going to go to the NBA. We're going to go to that game. Suns, Clippers. Chris Paul is back. And our guys, Prop Stars, will be on the show starting in July. They're on Chris Paul over 12.5 rebounds and assists. They believe that he'll play 35-plus minutes if the game is close tonight. He hasn't played in the first 2 games. He should be very, very fresh, which means he's going to be active. So let's go over 12.5 rebounds and assists. Then let's stay in that same game. Matt Severance is on the Suns -1. He just believes this is a great spot for them. The Clippers, they've done this 2 series in a row or 3 series in a row, and you can't continue to go down 0-2 and come back. So we're on the Suns. And if you play the Suns, I think that Mad Max play would make a lot of sense at +250 for the sweep. Now, in hockey, we're going to go to the Vegas and Montreal Canadiens game. We're going to go Vegas -145. Love this number. Vegas coming off a loss with 1-day rest, 13-4. Our guy, Jeff Hockman, 15-8 in his last 23 NHL plays. He's on Vegas today, so are we. All right, it's a Thursday. The Travelers just started. I'm extra hyped. That means M squared. You know the drill, son. Give it to me.
All right, Coach, let's start with afternoon baseball. Headed to the Oakland A's. Didn't get the job done yesterday, but they're going to today. I like this matchup for them with Bassett on the mound. I took them on the first 5 run line, -0.5 a run at -105. That means they have to be winning after the 5th inning. A push would be a loss the way I'm betting it. If you're not comfortable with that, I don't hate it on the first 5 money line, but the model edge is clearly on the run line here. And then I'm also taking them on the money line for the game, -138. So I like this here against Colby Allard. One thing that I think is going to run into in terms of trouble for him later in the season, he's going to be a little bit too predictable. He's starting to rely on his cut fastball a lot, throwing it almost 30% of the time. So almost 75% of the pitch usage here is going to be the fastball and the cut fastball, which have nearly identical release points in terms of vertical and horizontal movement here. So I think that it's too predictable. I think a team like the A's are aware of this, as it's a team that they study a lot more because it is a divisional matchup. I think they're going to be sitting on a few pitches here. I like the A's against left-handed pitching. They're sneaky good against the lefties, especially when you give them a positive hitting environment like they have here. Just a massive shift going from Oakland to Texas. Day game, roof open, elite hitting conditions. Take the A's.
When Mikey says, I love a play, my ears perk up. When it's an afternoon game that he loves, oh, I'm really listening now. 2:05 Eastern, first pitch there in Texas. All right, Jay Smooth, you got a full table for you today. What do you got for us this morning?
Yeah, Coach, I got 3 plays today. I'm actually going to also stay with some early baseball. I am going to my Yankees. I am going to take them on the first 5 run line, -135. Jameson Taillon is going to be starting today, and his splits on the road are just ridiculous. So he's pitching with a 3.29 ERA at Yankee Stadium, and I kid you not, he has an 11.12 ERA on the road. So he's been a lot better at home. And then going against him today is going to be Brad Keller. He's really struggled this season, bottom 2 percentile when talking about expected ERA, expected WOBA, or even his like fielding independent pitching numbers aren't great either. He's allowed 16 runs in his last 3 starts overall. I don't see the Yankees having nearly as much problem with them. I think Giancarlo Stanton should be able to get some good hits off of Keller. And, however Stanton goes, the Yankees kind of go. So I'm looking for Stanton to carry them, to get to him early, and for us to be winning by time the 5th inning ends here. Again, that's a 1:00 game, so you might want to get that one in. Then I'm going to go to the Astros. So the Astros have been clobbering. They attained the over last night on their own. I think they put up 11 or 12, 13 runs on the Orioles. They're going to go play the Tigers. So the Tigers aren't all that much better when it comes to like their pitching staff, especially with this matchup. They do have some good pitchers on the Tigers. I'm not gonna front here, but Jose Urena is not one of them. He's pretty bad. I think he's allowed 15 runs in his last 2 starts and only lasted 6 innings across both of them. Those were the White Sox and the Angels. I don't think the Houston Astros are very much different. If anything, they're better than those offenses. So yeah, I do think the Astros are going to clobber it, and I'm actually taking them -2.5 in order to get +105. And so most books don't carry this line. You can get it at our partner, William Hill. But the line for the regular run line -1.5 is currently about at -140. I think it hits, but I do think that the probabilities of it hitting at 2 or more runs or 3 or more runs are getting pretty similar. So I see a lot of value going up to that extra run, that extra -2.5. But if you want to take it the classic run line, I do support it. I do think the Astros get there. Then finally, my last play of the day, I'm going to a great little trend. Shout out to my guy, Alan Bell, for really putting me onto this. The Rays and the Red Sox have gone over their total in 10 of the last 11 games that they've played against each other. So I'll be taking the over again today. Michael Wacha has an exploitable 5.94 ERA. He doesn't go deep into games, and the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen has been exhausted, taking 3 losses over the last week. So I'll be going on the over here too.
Look at Jay Smooth giving AB a little love here on the morning show. How about that? 10 of 11, the over is coming. All right, he's chomping at the bit. He's been waiting. He's been sitting there, and he's like, okay, it's now my time. Maestro, we love you. What do you got?
All right, so far today, just one pitching prop. Jose Barrios over 5.5 Ks. Gonna shop around. I'll play it all the way up to -150. He's gone over this. He's hosting the Indians, which is on the road. They're kind of a neutral matchup, medium in terms of strikeout rate. But Jose Barrios has gone over this in 6 of his last 7. The only time he didn't was on 4 days rest. He has an extra day of rest today, and all the other times he's had more than 4 days of rest. He's also has a higher strikeout rate at home, at night. I love it, over 5.5 Ks, and I will hopefully have something more on Twitter.
Yep, and you cashed yesterday on Twitter because I played right along with you. If you don't follow at Larry Hartstein, I can't help you. A little housekeeping I forgot to do at the top of the show. Don't forget, we have an MMA episode that we do every week. Ian Parker, I don't think there's a hotter capper on planet Earth. This week, how about this? PFL, Bellator, and the UFC all in one show. We're taping it here in just a little bit. We'll have it in your feed later today. And then tomorrow, for all you tennis freaks out there, we're doing a very special Wimbledon preview. Tennis for the first time here on the Early Edge, and I am fired up for that. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. We're going to be talking about all of this stuff today on Early Edge Live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. M Squared, he's on the A's, -0.5 run in the first 5 on the A's for the money line for the whole game. Then Jay Smooth, he liked the Yankees in the first 5, -0.5 run. Astros -2.5. If your book doesn't have that, -1.5. Lay the 140. He supports that as well. And then Red Sox Rays over 9. You heard the stat. 10 of the last 11 games between these two teams has gone over. Then the Maestro. He's on Jose Barrios. I believe
it's over. Yeah, it's over.
Over 5.5 Ks. We'll make sure we get that right. And then from Sportsline, Suns -1, courtesy Matt Severance. Then Chris Paul over 12.5 rebounds and assists. That's from Prop Stars. And then the Golden Knights minus 145 from our guy, Jeff Hockman. All of those cappers. You can see them. You can read them. You can follow them at Sportsline. All right. Oh, by the way, the gem. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see it on the screen. For those of you listening to the audio version, here you go. A's money line, Yankees money line, Vegas money line, plus 338. Oh, it's going to be tasty when we cash that today. All right. It's a full day. It's a full freaking day. So you've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For the maestro, for M Squared, for Jay Smooth, for Greg, do not call him Gary, our producer. We'll see you at 5 p.m. this afternoon, and hopefully we're going to be talking about all the tickets we cashed in the afternoon. But remember, this is the only place, whether it's golf, MMA, hell, even tennis, for your early edge. Good luck. Do you want best bets in your feed every single day? All you have to do is hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things early edge.